uh, um, from somebody. My wife called me, so it just kind of like really broke up the video. But anyway, I'll try to finish rather quickly because I know I'm going to be getting a lot of calls. And there's only two other thoughts that I had. One was the struggle that disciplined people have. I think a lot of what his messages, Kevin Samuel's messages, were to people was to try to instill some or incorporate some form of discipline in their lives, from their appearance to their bodies, their health, and obviously their finances and their future. And the thing about it, about if you're a disciplined person, the thing that disciplined people struggle with the most is balance. So you can go to the gym 5 days a week, but if work or family emergency or whatever, and you just can't make it, your issue is not feeling bad because you didn't make it. So a lot of disciplined people struggle with balance. And trust me, he talked about that as well. But a lot of undisciplined people, they struggle with discipline, which, par for the course. So it's kind of like if you are um, disciplined at eating healthy, if you go to a birthday party and somebody offers you cake, you don't eat cake very often. Me, I don't like sweets like that. So, but every so often I'll eat a piece of sweets and I don't feel bad anymore because I've incorporated that discipline in the area of my nutrition. Whereas somebody who's undisciplined, they eat a whole bunch of sweets. They don't really care whatever it is that they're eating, and it's no big deal. I don't know if the video broke up, but again, getting calls. Um, and I thought about that. Most people most people who they want a good outcome. When going back to something that I talked about, and a lot of people have mentioned about Kevin Samuels and how he's been doing YouTube for 7+ maybe more years. He's been an image consultant for longer than that, and um, most people they saw Kevin Samuels as a butterfly, but nobody really saw him in that cocoon. Now, many people had an opportunity to witness him as he was going through that metamorphosis. What do I mean by that? As he was in the process of becoming who we all know Kevin Samuels to be now, he was still Kevin Samuels, but he was being astute. He was strengthening his disciplines. He was sharpening his acumen for business and a whole lot of other stuff. But a lot of people didn't see that. They just kind of saw this beautiful butterfly. And if you're a disciplined person, you can appreciate the butterfly. Why? Because you understand the metamorphosis. You know what it's like being in a cocoon. It's kind of like this. A lot of people, a lot of people want to be clean. They just don't want to take a bath. What do I mean by that? They don't want to take off their clothes, run the shower, wait for it to get warm, lather up, take a shower, wash their hair, wash their bodies, dry up, and then put on clothes and then smell good. Some people just want to say, you know what? I just came from outside and I know I'm sweating. I know I'm musty. I'm just going to put some cologne or some perfume on, and then I am going to expect people to tell me that I smell good. And if you tell me that I don't smell good, that I still smell a little musty, then I'm going to be bothered with you. But it's the truth. You don't. You didn't do what was necessary to actually smell good. And it's the same thing with anything else. You want the body, you just don't want to work out. You want the money, you just don't want to do the work to get it. And undisciplined people have an issue with that. So anytime somebody who's a very disciplined person speaks to that, it speaks to those issues and say, look, this is how you're going to get this, they take offense to it. They do. I remember hearing Kevin Samuels talked about working 60 hours a week. And I'm like, man, 60 hours a week? That is a lot. But I had to listen to what he was saying. And then I had to look at my own schedule. And I was like, I work that and some. And it started to make sense because when I first heard him say it, I was like, oh, man, ain't nobody. Nah. I'm like everybody else. I want days off. I want vacation. I want to do all of that. But if you take too many vacations, if you take too many days off, you'll never have the resources that you need to present yourself, to drive what you want to drive, to live what you want, where you want to live, to spend what you want to spend. And I think a lot of people, when faced with those type of subjects on truth, they were quick to kind of turn him off. Initially me included, but then as I said, as I listened more, I realized what he was saying was more in my wheelhouse than not. So I didn't really have a problem with it. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. But I definitely wanted to finish this because, hey, listen, I'm of the persuasion when your wife calls, I don't care what you're doing, you need to answer the phone. So in any event, I'll just say this right here, and I'll let you guys go. You can only disciplined people can appreciate the accolades and the praise because disciplined people are comfortable with embracing truth. They don't the accolades and the praise from a nutritional sense to a disciplined person is just like the occasional scoop of ice cream or piece of cake. Why? Because I'm accustomed to eating the broccoli, the kale, and the asparagus. I like that because I know that's where my strength is going to come. All that other stuff, it's just going to make me feel good. But I can't eat too much of the cake and the ice cream and the sweets. Why? Because that's going to hurt me in the long run. That's going to get me somewhere to where I don't want to be. But the other stuff, if I focus, if I start loving the stuff that's going to make me strong, I can appreciate the stuff that might bother me every so often. But it's not going to bother me because I focus in on what makes me strong. And I think that is those are the key lessons that I got from him. He wanted to incorporate discipline in people who didn't have any, and he wanted to incorporate balance in people who embraced discipline to the point where there was none. So, love you guys. This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian, saying Até breve. And remember, a lembra-se, gente. No udo, o jogador, o deu o jogo. I'll let y'all figure that out. É verdade.